One evening after dinner, I decided to go to the gym to keep the wife happy. Went to the gym, was on the elliptical, was going to go on the next machine, went to the washroom to wash my hands, and then I collapsed.
So I heard a knock at the front door, and it was the police. They had told me that my husband had collapsed at the gym. They would not give me his status, but they said he was in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. So I got our kids together, and we came into the ER and told them our last name, and they immediately ushered us down the hall to a quiet room, and they told us the doctors would be there soon to talk to us. I told the boys that this wasn't good, that your dad probably had a heart attack or a brain aneurysm. And so we did the only thing we knew to do, and that was we started to pray. So the doctors had put him into an induced coma, and the purpose of that was to keep him still and to maintain organ function and to keep his body temperature down. The problem was that he didn't seem to like that, so they had to give him a paralytic drug to keep him still so that this process would work properly. So that was for about 3 days, and when the day came to get him out of his induced coma, we had a lot of people there. We had Mike's parents, my parents, his sisters. Some of our kids were able to be there, and the doctors started taking him off the paralytic drug. They were trying to explain to him what was going on. They were taking the tubes out of his throat. And, I was holding his hand. I said, honey, you're here at the hospital. You had a heart attack. And he just looked very slowly at me with a quizzical look, and he goes, who are you? And my chin just dropped to the floor. He looked at the end of the bed, he winked at his son Garrett, and the entire room just bursted out laughing. And I just said, you know what? He's totally fine. Everybody can go home now.
When I woke up from my coma, doctors said that I had 99% blockage, and some guy saved me, used the AED machine. A couple of days later, I ended up having open heart surgery. When I was home recovering and recuperating, I was just kind of asking myself, why am I still here? Why is it me and not someone else? When I was rehabilitating, I walked to downtown Highland, and I want to stop in and see a customer of mine I did a few dumpsters for, Dr. Dave. And he goes, Mike, how you doing? I said, funny you asked. A couple weeks ago, I was working at a gym. I dropped down with a heart attack, and I showed him my new zipper on my chest. And he's like, was that here in Highland? I'm like, yeah. Lytle. I know the guy that saved you, Mike. He thought you were Mike Little, not Mike Lytle. He goes, you want to meet him? I said, of course I would. Next thing you know, I went to his place at work, and I asked him, Eric, do I kind of look familiar? He goes, you kind of do. The second question was, why did you cut my Cub sweatshirt? And he replied, it was easy, I'm a Sox fan. And right there, we hugged and shed some tears. And then he told me, Mike, I wasn't even supposed to be there. I said, yeah, you were. I did a lot of reflecting on my life the last couple of years, to saying, God, I'm here. What's next? My wife and I did a journey group, and me dealing with working the daily grind, I sold my business, and I figured that God was calling me to do something that maybe I felt uncomfortable to do. And that's when the church reached out and said, hey, Mike, would you want to be nominated for an elder? I said, I'm not sure, just give me a few weeks and a lot of prayer, and a couple weeks later I decided I think this is what he's calling me to do. Just going through the journey group, discovering my strengths on shepherding and mercy showing. So it was just, I thought, a right fit for me. And that's what community is all about. That is what faith is all about. As a husband and as a father, I always promoted stewardship, time, talents, and treasures. The time is now. There's a reason why I'm here. I got a second chance. I was granted extended play. That's something my wife and I always talk about, so I could be here for my wife, my boys, my family, my church, and my community. It's not my will be done, it's thy will be done.